Hello? Hello, is there anybody out there? Anyone at all? It's Peter Didler, Associate Professor at Purchase College, now Associate Professor of the Soundless, Nameless Void. Is there anyone out there? Hello? Is there anyone out there? If anyone's listening, I'd like to recount my story. It's a long one, and it's a complicated one, and it's a difficult one, but I think it needs to be told, if only for the echoing blackness of space. I was born a small white baby in Boise, Idaho, to two parents, one of which I had never met, the other of which was a zookeeper at the Boise Zoo. That was my mother. She kept the snake house, the reptile house. Now, whatever interdimensional or intergalactary beings that are listening now might not know what a snake house is, or a zoo, or Boise, Idaho. But that's beyond the concern of what we're going to be talking about. Again, this is Peter Didler, Associate Professor of the Humanities at Purchase College, graduate student, now formless being floating in space. I guess the story really begins when I took a team of Purchase College students out on a field expedition in the jungles of Venezuela to investigate the uncovering of a tomb, a small earthen cavern that seems to have been carved out of the Venezuelan cliffside by human hands some 30,000 years ago. And inside of the tomb we found the remains of a being that seems inexplicably tied to the being so outlined in the tome of the tale of Severian Earth Crab, Harbinger of the Doom Dial, a book which I, as associate professor at Purchase College, have been studying as my graduate work. In this tomb, I found a cloak and a bird. And I donned that cloak and I donned that bird, and they spoke through me. And the things that they said, I was lost. I remember violence, limbs, college students being rent, torn in half, being eaten by dark creatures summoned from the grounds. And then I remember little of what seemed like the next hundreds of years. I had become Severian Earth Crab, Harbinger of the Doom Dial. Not knowing what the Doom Dial was when I set out in the Venezuelan forest, here now I was that dark being, embodied in cloak and in bird. One person, Peter Didler, Harbinger of the Doom Dial. And I crusaded, speaking to the humans about creatures of this earth being pushed off the edge of extinction. The lesser prairie chicken, the blind Texas cave salamander, the Wall Street caterpillar. It's all coming back to me now, echoing off the chambers of the universe. These creatures, my kin, brethren, all undoubtedly lost to the earth as I drift endlessly in the inky blackness. I, transcending persona, ascending from humanity to something more, now join the universe, spinning in the ether, splashing about in the pool of life force, the river of God. This brings me to the final question, the question that has haunted my professional career, haunted my hundreds of years as Severian Earth Crab, Dark Lord of the Forest, and continues to haunt me as a formless embodiment of consciousness spinning amongst the stars. That question is, what is the doom dial? What is this doom dial that I am harbinger of, that we are all harbinger of? What is it? Is it a type of food? Or is it an animal that we need to save? Or is it a philosophy? Is it just a way of being? A disposition, sunny or not so sunny? In pursuit of the doom dial, coming into contact with cosmic beings such as the blind cave salamander, as Severian Earth Crab, I have finally come to see the doom dial. And it took me leaving my body and joining the particulates of space to finally see what the doom dial is. I am the doom dial. Its harbinger is its own. I am the doom dial that will bring about the end of all mankind. But not only that, you, listener, my voice reaching the face of the earth, reaching your televisions somehow, by the grace of some alien being who wants you to hear my message, you, viewer, are also the doom dial. And you, by nature of your own humanity, will bring about the end of humanity. You may not be conscious of it as you walk through your waking life, sleeping, eating, making love, buying things for your loved ones, buying things for yourself, paving over the plains, filling in the forests, emptying the rivers. Know that every movement that you make in your blind, dumb limbs, every twitch of your eye or word from your mouth is inching towards the end of humanity. Rest tonight, head on your pillow, knowing that you will wake in a world that is one night closer to its death. One night closer to purging itself of the virus that is mankind. I began my life deaf and dumb to the dying screams of the forgotten earth, but I end my life here, floating through space, hammer in my hand, overwhelmed by the dying screams of the forgotten earth. And I say to you, hearing them now, what will you do? What will you build? What will you destroy to make them stop? This has been Peter Didler, Associate Professor of Humanities at Purchase College, also Severian Earth Crab, Harbinger of the Doom Dial, Dark Lord of the Forest, and advocate for all species, and also Peter Didler, Harbinger of the Doom Dial, formless consciousness floating in the void of space. Thank you for listening and watching. I hope that you are unable to claw the horrors that you now see behind your eyelids out of your eyes, and I hope that they follow you forever, and you die knowing that you've ruined the earth. Thank you.